This is Absolute's Navetta 75, and it is, as you can see, even for a 75-foot boat, a beast, isn't it? It's a big boat, this one. We're going to go on board and we're going to give this the full tour. I'm going to show you what it's all about. Hopefully, we're at a boat show. We've got a few people about, so we'll do our best to work around them and show you everything. So, we're going to step on back here and we're going to see if we can just get ahead of the curve a little bit. Show you the aft deck first of all. This is quite interesting because this stuff is able to be configured however you want. So if you want to move this around and lay it out a little bit differently, you can do. You've got the big overhang that comes back here, but also the extending section that comes out as well. So a lot of shade for this area. And you've got a bar area just here. So what you have here is a little fridge in there, storage in there, and there's also a little sink underneath that one. And the other thing that we have here, hello, is a stern docking station. So you've got the thruster controls and the IPS control just there. Let's head on in. Sorry, thank you.
Exactly.
That is how she looks on the main deck. So you've got saloon here. Interestingly, a lot of these boats are galley aft. With this one, they've put the galley further forward, and that's because a lot of these boats tend to have crew, so you want to be able to sit back here and enjoy this whole space, and then the crew can be a little bit more separated further forward if you wish. High-low TV, that slides away, of course, big windows on this one, and cutaway bulwarks as well, so you get a great view through. You can see it on the other side as well. Let's head on forward a bit further. Dining area is here. And I think what I'm going to do is take you down to the lower deck and show you this bit whilst it's quiet, and then we'll work our way forward a little bit further in a moment. So what you've got here is really big full beam cabin here. And what's interesting is they've put the sink in the centre, and then the toilet and the shower are tucked away into these corners here. So it's quite a space efficient way of doing it. You see the shower is over on this side. Thusly, some nice finishes in here as well. I love the way they've done all this. That looks really good. But yeah, nice sized cabin, full beam with the boat. Arguably, however, not the owner's cabin, because there is another really big cabin which I'm going to show you a bit further forward in the boat. There must be a hanging locker in here, mustn't there? And it's over here. There we go, walk straight past it. There we go. Say it's a hanging locker, there's no rail in there, but I'm sure there ought to be. Safe is in there, and a bit of storage around there as well. That area there, of course, is where the stairs come down. If we head forward a little bit, what we'll find here, nice little lobby area, and then you've got another double cabin in here, and this one has its own ensuite. So that's tucked away in here. You've got the toilet, obviously, and then the shower is in here. And the sink. These have got pocket doors. It's very much an absolute thing. So the doors slide away completely. Very good from a space saving point of view. Obviously, if you open this way, then it's all kind of getting away a little bit there. It's not. On the other side of this passageway, so we've got the threshold for this cabin here. Day head is here, and that has a shower as well. And the sink and so forth, all beautifully finished. And then there is another cabin in here. So, 2 single beds in this one, hanging locker in there. Now that is this area, except it's not quite, because there's a little secret hiding in here, and it's up here. This is another of these pocket doors, and if we slide this away, it goes under the deck forward, and we've got this fantastic little area in here. You've got cubby holes in here. It's almost like a sort of walk-in wardrobe, really. If we open this one, more storage here, lockers along here and so forth, and then in here this gives you a fantastic storage space for all kinds of gear. Also access to a lot of the systems, so bow thruster, for example, you can see in the centre, very easy to reach, and some of the electronics and all that kind of stuff are all tucked away in there, but very easily get-atable. So that's a helpful little area. Let's close that one up, spin on round, come back out of here. There is another lower deck area to show you. a little bit further forward. Let's close that one behind me. Okay, we'll press on back. Back up these steps. And we will continue our tour forward unencumbered. So, dining table, he says, stating the absolute obvious just here. Again, with those cutaway bulwarks, you can see the view from here is absolutely fantastic, straight out across the water. And then the galley's up here. So if we come up round here, curious to see what's in here. Yeah, big storage locker. And then glasses are in there. And then this is the galley. Now this will close off. You can see there's a door that slides across here. And I'm wondering whether this partition lifts, because it looks very much like that's a sliding section there, but I'm not certain about that. Don't quote me. Cooker here, hob rather I should say, and the oven is behind us. What else have we got? We've got massive fridge freezer there. That's a really good size. And that one there is more refrigeration. You can never have enough, can you? And then another pocket door here, so this will slide across, and this takes you up into the helm area. A couple of things to note in here. Firstly, I really like that they've done this with these massive screens across here. So all the boat information, you can configure these however you want. This one is showing us information on the boat at the minute. We can look at bilges, we can look at lights, all that kind of stuff. And then this one actually is showing the same, but we could reconfigure that, and we could have that, for example, showing navigation or engine instrumentation or whatever else we want to do with it. So all of this stuff can be laid out however you want. Some nice Mercedes vents in here, throwing out lovely chilled air. Throttle controls, IPS joystick, and that's the bow thruster underneath there. But a thing that you don't often see on boats of this size very often these days is an internal stairway up to the Flybridge. So that one will take you around and straight onto the upper deck. We'll look at that in a moment. You've got lift bolster seats here. This armrest drops down and there's a control on there actually for the multifunction displays. We're going to zoom around this way very quickly and try to stay ahead of the curve. Distribution panel is tucked away down here, so that's in here. 24 volt, 240 volt, all that stuff is controlled via that. And then if we spin on round, now you've got to wonder which is the owner's cabin, because that one we saw, the full beam one, looked like an owner's cabin. I actually think it's this one. This is huge. It's right up in the bow of the boat. You can see the sides coming in. Obviously that's the shape of the bow. And what it gives you then is this wonderful big area here, but also the ensuite is tucked away right up in the bow. So obviously the sides continue to come in, but nonetheless, plenty of space to give you a fantastic ensuite to this cabin. That's really, really nice. So the loo is tucked away down here. Again, loads of storage about the place in places like this. And the shower is over on this side. Like so. Pocket doors everywhere again, saving space. So this one here, if it's not clipped back, there we go. Just drops across like that, comes straight out of the wall. So when it's open, pretty much disappears. Let's leave that as we found it. That just clips it in place. But yeah, that is a nice cabin, isn't it? And if we come over this side, obviously more storage around here, lovely little dressing area, and then back here is big sort of walk-in wardrobe really, isn't it? Safe is in there as well. Loads and loads of space for all your clobber in there. And if it's not enough, there's a bit more there. So there we go. Huge hull windows in here as well on either side, as you can see. And that, I think, concludes the interior. Let's go look at the decks, and we'll also look at the engine space and the crew cabin. So we'll come back up through here. We've got side doors on both sides. You can see there's one just here, and I think we can probably go out through here. There we go. So that's the deck heading back to the cockpit area where we came onto the boat. Love these big overhangs they put on these with the lights in underneath them as well. And if I spin right round, we've got the steps up now. We're above that cabin that we were just in. Big storage bins in here for deck gear. And a lovely seating area up on the bow. That's fabulous, and sunbathing as well, of course, with these lift sections. Let's come right up to the front of the boat. anchor hanging over there. Very nice indeed. Very nice. Let's go all the way around, shall we? Look at these pop-up lights. We can come back down this side. Again, the side access doors, you can see one going in through here, back into the interior, next to the galley in that particular instance, again with the big overhangs. Let's come all the way back, loop on round. Hello. And this is the Flybridge. If we come all the way to the back, these are enormous because they bring it right back virtually to the transom. That's that awning that comes out, extends, obviously that powers away if you don't want it. So here, you can lay this out how you want. This one's got sunbeds on the back. This has got seating around here as well. But it's all freestanding, so you can move this around and configure it however you want. There's another of these awnings that powers out to give a bit more shade if you want it, or retracts. And then a very nice bar area here. So love this raised glass section, that looks great. And then you've got twin barbecues across here. There's a sink. What else have we got in here? Ice maker lives in here. Storage. Most of this I suspect is storage. There's probably a fridge somewhere as well. Bins, I think that one is. And then if we come back here, what's underneath this one? Oh, there we go, top loading fridge in there. It's all very substantial, isn't it? And then a great dining area in the centre. Loads more storage, just masses of storage up here, isn't there? I'm sure one of these is a fridge, and I'm sure you don't want to watch me spending a minute opening every single one. But yeah, that's pretty spectacular, really. This opens, in fact you can see it is open slightly, but of course that will power all the way back. So you can have that open if you want, or close it all the way up for maximum shade. And then seating around here. The upper helm is here. Again, you've got the multifunction displays. Again, you've got the throttle controls, the IPS controller, the bow thruster and so forth. And the helm seats are up here as well. That is that internal access from the galley straight up onto this deck. I think that's a really nice idea. And that is the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. It is massive. 1,300 boats here apparently. Just remarkable. Let's go and take in the engines, shall we? And the crew quarters. So we're back down this stairway. And you can see there are steps down here, but they're raised at the minute because that's the access to the crew cabin. We'll come across here. Sorry. We can step down here. This does have a door. You can see the hinges for it here, so this will swing across and close if you wanted to. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's a high-low platform, so your tender would live out here. You can see there's a lift-up section here. The reason for that will become clearer in just a moment. If we come right the way over here, we can step down. These are these steps that are lifted up, so that drops down to create another walkway up into the cockpit, or lift it up as it is now, and it's access into here. And this is quite interesting because, well, first of all, there's that lift window. So it's a wonderfully well ventilated area. That's really good. There's a fridge in here, there's cooking in here, there's a sink in here. You don't often see this kind of stuff on a sub 80-foot boat, but this has got it. Little table here as well, so you can have this as a seating area if you want, or you can make this into a bed. Now that's like an occasional second bed because the main sleeping area is in behind this door here. So we've got a switch panel there, open that, and then there's a single cabin in there with a TV. But it does mean if you want a little bit of extra capacity, then you can use that to have another person on board if you wish. Very nice. What's in here? Storage. Fair enough so. All right. Last thing to talk about then is the motors. Let's come around here. Now this is the ensuite to this area. So there's a pocket door there. Hello.
Excuse me, sir.
No problem at all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Laundry facilities, first of all, washer and dryer, so that's nice. And then, as I say, your toilet is here, your wash basin, and then there's a separate shower tucked away in there. But the other thing that we have here is there's a big watertight door here, and that takes us into the engine space. And here we go. IPS pod drive on this, and so you have a pair of IPS 1350 engines. They are, if my memory serves me correctly, 1,000 horsepower each. And that is a pretty decent sized engine room. Now with these engines you're going to get about 26 knots flat out with this boat. You're going to cruise at about 18 and get 300 miles, or you can drop the speed right back and get an awful lot further. And to give you an idea, 8 knots is 1,000 miles, 5 knots is 2,000 miles. So it really depends how much energy you want to use pushing above displacement speed. If you bring it right back, you should get an awful lot further. Same with all these types of boats. Generator lives down here. There's a seakeeper in the centre. That's what that big white fellow is there between the engines. And then a lot of the electronics and plumbing and all that kind of stuff all lives down here as well. Fuel tanks are here. Batteries are here. Very nice indeed. That ladder, in case you're wondering, is another access, so that takes you straight up to the cockpit. It's another way out of here if it was needed. Generator over on this side as well, so twin generators. Brilliant. Let's come back out of here, back through there. I think, considering there's a few people about, we didn't do too badly, did we? All right, let's go and stand over here. We'll take a last look at the outside. And I'll say that that was the Absolute Navetta 75. Massive thanks to Absolute for organising that tour. Huge thanks to everybody on board who put up me wandering around with my camera and talking to myself. And huge thanks as ever to you guys for watching. We'll catch you on another one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.